everyone! Welcome back to Charles Steele, a Pact made in Amber. When last we left our heroes, gotta steal Colville's shtick. When we last played, the crew of the Unfortunate Scorpion had just bested the conductor, one of the kind of like influential leaders of the Raiden Whites in the middle. And they had set about trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. And through some various means, primarily questioning from Uvik and Higgins, and eventually Bansii claiming the Amber conductor's rod, right? Were able to clear the mind of the conductor and gain a bit of understanding of what exactly was going on. The reveal of a sinister plot of an opportunity for the Raiden Whites to come out from under the thumb of the Overworlders, to gain acclaim, but with the aid of a forgotten peoples that once lived here. The goblins who actually previously lived in this area were working with the Raiden Whites and disguising themselves as raccoons, stealing gunpowder throughout the city. And that plot has come to fruition, as today is supposed to be the day that various caches of gunpowder are blown up underneath the city of Pouso. So, discovering this and convincing / clearing the conductor's mind, the party was able to gain the conductor's aid in thwarting this plot. And raced to one of the many locations to prevent this scenario. They got here. They started fighting goblins. They have not rested. Things got real bad. And then a mysterious dwarven man showed up to help. And now there are some really big stone walls in between some of our party, who is very hurt, and the goblins. So we're gonna have to see how that actually turns out. So, and Higgins, goddammit, took my fun from me by cutting the head off of the one goblin that was trying to light the pile of barrels. He was gonna go out with a bang, and instead he lost his head. That is where we are. We're going to switch over to the battle cam because we're still in the midst of a fight, and it's the enemy turn. Wait, no. I need to go up here. Was it the enemy turn, or have I missed something? I gotta scroll back.
I think we just started the next round, and it started with the enemy turn.
Mark and I did some testing to double check some other stuff, and now there's a whole bunch of elemental affinity, minions start combat, minions start combat,
gotcha.
elemental affinity. It's just this wall of text in my
Well,
action
if we
log,
go
and I'm
up
like,
high enough, we'll
not
see
that stuff.
That it was me,
Yeah.
Bansii, and then Indy.
Yep, start of round 4. It is some Gerberins. It's enemy turn. We have these goblin runners.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so it was my turn. I used now and gave Bansii and Indy a free action.
So these guys are going to go. They are going to run into the space and stop and attack the first person they see.
Damn.
So in between these the out of the walls come these moving rock golems, right? Like pushing the wave of goblins back. And then they're immediately set upon by the goblins, just swarming over them, stabbing into them, bashing into them, right? And you see the animation goes out of them and they kind of like collapse, right? Oh, right. We need to do 3 damage to Indiana Stones.
That is correct. Yes, yes.
On Numlock. Give
No,
me
For
my
my s-
an
Numlock.
injured Indy.
For my spell
Because
backlash.
yeah, so whenever the summoner loses an entire squad, gets wiped out of their minions, they take a little bit of a backlash from
Wiped
that.
out. They're right there. I see them.
They got disanimated. I don't want to say deadified because they really just got like smacked a little bit, but whatever. The rocks go down and the
They're just
goblins
holding really
continue
still.
to swarm forward.
Mhm.
This one, charge, roll dice.
Ooh, they want it.
I will foresight that and reduce that with bang. Wait, oh, you know, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boom.
3 damage.
So you
Okay.
have foresight and parry to reduce.
Yeah. All right. No. Foresight is Bane. And Harry is reduced here, I believe. Foresight I can do for myself. Parry I can use on others.
So the goblins rush down this narrow corridor that has been created by the 2 golems disanimating and leaving behind these rocky piles. So they rush through, find Yuvik, and immediately just start swinging on you. But
And then the rock golems stand up, not actually dead.
Not
They
actually
crush
dead.
The goblin between
Yeah,
them.
they just run into each other. Just
It was a trick.
pancake.
they just like ah.
Fusion.
Fuse.
Ah.
Okay, in turn. Okay, it is hero turn. So, we got 4 heroes on the list. Whoever wants to go can go.
So it looks like in a recent update, instead of like clicking your icon or
You
doing something with
can
your token,
drag it, now into the
yeah,
space.
I guess there's too many.
You can still
people
click the
fudging
swords
turns.
on you if you just like doing that, but you can also like click and drag yourself into the space where it says drag hero here for turn.
Now, I don't have any more recovery.
Same.
Bansii, what are you sitting at?
I have 1.
All right. Well, I could Inspiring Strike and give you an opportunity to use that before you take a turn.
Yeah, I was planning on using my turn to heal.
All right. Then let me. Whatever. Here we go.
But don't you? Oh, what? Did they like walk? Are these alive? The
Mhm.
ones right?
The
Yeah.
two- yeah,
They are?
yeah.
Okay.
But I'll smack this one. Well, it seems the theme from the previous session is carrying over here. All right, and Bansii, you should be able to use that recovery without using a resource.
Hey! Mark, it is working correctly. That was a minion that just died, and you boom gained your essence.
Oh
for the
yes,
turn.
I see it. Yes.
Oh yeah.
So, what happens is these 2 guys swing around this boulder that was created, and they line up down a hallway in such a way that I just like batter up and swing through both of them.
Nice. Click.
Wow.
And intern.
Dead.
Intern save. I'm affected by something, but
Patient is weakness.
Yeah, it
Oh
is.
my
my
god!
God.
That is a
Huge
big ass banner now!
fucking splash.
Holy shit!
That is so much cooler than the tiny little pop-up
they
it
did
used
not
to
need
be.
to give me
Yes!
that.
It's kind of
I'm
cool
fan.
to see the VTT progress as it adds things in like that. Like that's pretty
They
awesome.
need to like add the mystic art like character portrait flash like
Oh
in Hell
yeah.
games.
Shoo!
Yeah.
How do I? Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm gonna run over here,
Oh, God.
and I work better alone. All the surges.
Hell
wow.
yeah, brother.
Jesus Christ.
I will accept this result.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, one survived.
That'll do.
Just
And
keyword
then
3
How
of
do
them.
how do those 3 goblins die?
literally I run forward and skewer the
Just-
3 of them upon Amber Glaive.
All right.
And then for good measure, I lift them up off the ground and then like whip my glaive to throw them off.
Like a Japanese chibiri, just
You
Slap.
hear in your mind, not satisfying enough. More.
Roger that, and I disappear into the darkness again.
Okay. Sounds like plan. Oh. Okay. That end of your turn?
Yes.
Alright. How to... Okay, that's actually really interesting. Because of... Well, I guess...
uh-oh.
You all hear, like, a pop, and then, like, chittering, and the patter of tiny feet moving away from here.
They're running.
But you're all so positioned, and with the rocks in the way, none of you can actually see anything. So you just hear this, and then there's just a heartbeat of like quiet, and then just nothing. One of y'all's turns.
Okay.
I'll go and go.
We got runners.
Chase them down.
Run them down.
Summon my moats.
Emotes.
Got moats. Emotin. Can you summon them on the other side of walls?
Where's I need to summon
Oh,
some more.
cool. They're anime.
Yeah, they got
Look at that. That's
little
cool.
poopies.
And then I'm gonna sacrifice. Oh, I got 5 essence right now,
That's
so
a
I only actually need
lot.
to
Yep.
sacrifice 1. So I have 6. So I'm gonna now I'm gonna summon 2 of my. What is it? Call forth main action, right? Actually, I'm gonna come up here. Can I move first and then
Yep.
call forth?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can split your movement as much as you want. You can move a little bit, do a thing, move a little bit, do a thing, as long as you still have movement.
All right. I'm gonna summon
Oh.
my magma. Flow of magma. Can I actually get 2 of them for that?
Jesus.
Is
Right.
it like a snake? It is like a snake.
The magma
It's,
snake.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, it's like a magma snake.
Oh, that's
Unless you want it to be
terrifying.
something different.
I hate that.
And
Why
then
do you
I'm gonna
hate that?
I don't like snakes.
Really?
Yeah, not a big fan of snakes.
I'm gonna run forward and tell him to charge out this way. Ah! I'm screaming, and then nothing
wait, is Indy screaming? Or
Ah,
the
yeah.
snake screaming?
I'm screaming, charging out.
I literally have this Indiana Jones moment in my head where he's like running down the hallway screaming. Okay.
I'm here for
Doesn't
it.
he
That's
do
great.
A thing where like there's a bunch of crazy shit going on, and he just like yells at them, or is that just Harrison Ford in a different movie?
You
I
get
don't
hyped
remember.
for the fight.
Nah, that's Brendan Fraser in The Mummy.
That's Brendan Fraser in the movie.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
You're right.
I totally forgot I could have done Minion Bridge too if I set up my moats right. But it's all good. All right, I guess that's my turn.
You'll get it eventually.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, do I
So-
click at the end?
So, Higgins, you see these 2 serpentine forms of lava burst up out of the ground and start like, do they like float low, or are they literally like slithering along the ground?
They slither. They slither.
So
They're like
they're
magma
just
steaks.
slithering down this tunnel and then out, like barely in your sight range.
Seems to
I
be
like to
easy
imagine they don't
track.
actually slither. They're actually just sliding across their own magma they're making.
They're like it's like vomiting
like
it out the
snail.
front
Pretty
and then
accurate.
on top of it.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Bansii, your last one.
I'm the last one. Okay. Well, that heal, thank you very much, was actually pretty significant.
Good.
Um,
Bansii, question for you.
yeah.
What do you have in your hands?
Huh?
What does that
Death
mean?
flute.
What does that mean?
Does
You
Bansii
have the
normally
death
have
flute
anything in
in
her
your
hands?
No,
Where's
she
that
doesn't.
amber?
I don't have the weapon.
Where's that amber
I-
wand?
I mean, it's a good question. I had it while we were interrogating, but I probably would have put it back in my bag.
You feel this like humming, like vibration from your pack.
So I have a question, just like off the record, before I do anything with that. If I'm a magic person that doesn't normally use a weapon of some kind, would it, would I ever use a weapon? Like, I don't know what that means.
So
Because I don't normally use a weapon, so
the
like,
rules,
would I ever need
the
it?
rules for like draw steel get kind of like, you know, whereas in D&D basically everyone's going to use something, whether they're a caster or not, right? Like draw steel has kits specifically, so like martial people are actually using weapons and then everyone else is just like doing without, and it's baked into the character. That is not to say that there aren't magical implements that can enhance mages or casters or other individuals who don't rely on martial weapons. Some of those magical implements might actually just be straight up weapons, and like it's like the fantasy of like a wizard using a sword, right? Like they might be holding a sword, but they might not actually be swinging it very much, but that sword is like giving them some sort of power type thing. It would be the same thing here. It's like if that amber wand had some sort of attack ability, it just wouldn't matter to Bansii, right? But if it has some sort of like other magical abilities, then Bansii could potentially use those.
I see. Okay. I think she'd probably ignore it.
Okay, sure.
Yuvik, can I use? Sorry, I'm asking, I guess, everybody. Can I use my heal to heal somebody else as a part of a main action? No.
Nope.
Okay. Never mind. Okay, so
Using the heal main action lets you allow another person to burn their recovery, basically.
Okay.
But once
Alright.
you're out of recoveries, you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I can't see anything, so I moved. I can kind of see this guy, but is that just by nature? I can't ping anything. This guy up here where my cursor is, I can see him, but is that just by nature of like you moved him and so therefore I can see him, or is he like within? He's not within vision, right?
He should not
No.
be within vision. However you can
Okay.
see him is by nature of, oops.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so I moved here, and then I guess I'll move again. Yeah,
Double move? Sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna double move. I don't know how to make that happen.
On your main action, there should be a use move action at the very bottom if you click main action. So, boom, there you go.
Okay.
End of your turn?
Maneuver. I don't have any recoveries. I can't do that. Could I see him now? Probably not. He's around the corner.
What you actually see is, I think you're seeing this, which is like the little squad tag for them. So
Okay.
you don't actually see them, but I would say there's nothing else going on, Bansii, so you can probably hear them. It sounds like they did basically what you did, right? Like they're just dashing. They're just double moving to get the fuck out of here. There were like 20 goblins here like 20 seconds ago. And now there
so I see
are
a
two.
wall here. I see a
Yeah.
wall here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see them now. They're probably about 30 feet ahead of you.
Even though this looks like a wall?
Yeah, it's just the end of the map, so there is a tunnel that is continuing further that way, right? And they haven't turned a bend, so you can see them, but they're a little ways away. They have a little bit of a head start on you, basically.
All right, cool.
Sir, this little shit is just sitting next to me, attacking me.
Why else?
Why are you attacking me? Okay. All right. I'm just gonna ask the question. Are you going to unrelenting hot pursuit these guys, or are you gonna let them run away?
I was going to
what's the
let them
party
run
choice?
away, but I wanted to understand what I was looking at.
Gotcha.
I wanted to understand what I was looking at, like if they were running away or if they were going to get more or whatever. I wanted to see what was happening around the corner.
That goes for the whole party as well, right? Like that's a question to everyone, not just Bansii, right? Is the party gonna try to pursue these guys to the bitter ends, or are you guys like, okay, they look like they're running? Fine.
I am in favor of. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're fine. I was about to say that depends on if we think they're going to come back and finish the job.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm in favor of figuring out what the heck is going on with this and making sure that is safe before we pursue and then continue on. Like, this is our main objective.
Sure.
I'm a little concerned about the lava snakes near the kegs of black powder.
Speaking of, we should probably figure out who our newcomer is and make sure he's not here for any nefarious purposes.
Okay.
He actually just directs the snakes straight to the barrels.
Just like, right? That problem's done.
Yep, good job.
Boom. Sir.
Flipping the table. That's what that is.
Yep, that's the TTRPG equivalent.
Yeah, if y'all want to start a new campaign, that is absolute. There's enough gunpowder down here. That is the way to do it. Like, absolutely. we can go play something else. I will say in just a few moments of kind of like trying to ascertain what's going on here, they're fleeing. They saw more than a dozen of their brethren get cut down in a matter of seconds. The last thing they saw was a giant stone man appear out of nowhere, skewer 3 of them on a glaive, lift them up into the air, and then, like, them off, and then just vanish. Like he was gonna fucking do it again. Like,
absolutely fucking not.
And these last 2 goblins were just like, what? We fucked up here, goodbye! So, they do not look like they are, like, rallying reinforcements or anything like that. That's not to say that they might not come back later or something like that, but they look like they are running to get the fuck away from this bloody massacre as quickly as possible. So, I will say, feels like combat is over. And we can
then
swap
I'll
back.
yell to the group that they're retreating then, so that everybody knows what I'm seeing.
Higgins, do you voice your concerns about the big old lava snakes and the gunpowder out loud?
Yeah. I mean, if it feels like the battle's winding down, like, hey, could we keep the lava snakes away from the barrels?
I stepped in there like, what gunpowder?
And I was saying, because Indiana, this is your first time walking into the room,
Yeah.
and you turn, and there's
I-
just stacked against this far wall, 50
I'm
to
like,
100
shit.
barrels of.
I fade in from the darkness. Yeah, I wouldn't touch those with any fire.
Oh shit! And I'm gonna quickly unsummon them.
And
fact,
when
I
they
think
unsummon, they summon fireballs that go off in random directions.
Just pew, 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 pew.
I do leave a pile of fire when they die,
Ooh.
and they sacrifice
So
the rest.
Bansii will immediately walk up to Indiana Stones and thank him for saving her. And then also immediately ask who he is.
Thank you for saving me. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, but probably just as bluntly as that. Thank you, and also who are you?
I'm gonna strike a little, superhero pose, hands on the hips, chest out. I'm like, I'm Indiana Stones. And I was just down here, searching for stuff, on orders of what was her name again?
Meredith is the name of your superior.
Yes.
Meredith
sitting down here,
Collins, if you are concerned about a last name.
I was just down here searching for stuff, and I ran across y'all, and yeah. So you're welcome.
Well, does this count as stuff?
Well, this is not what we were looking for. More resources, but I guess they could use gunpowder too. So that is a resource. Yeah.
Well met, Master Stones. I'm Higgins.
Oh, hi, Higgins. I didn't see you before. Where were you at?
About.
And Bonzi's an elf, right?
Yes.
Or she
He's
has the
dead
appearance of an elf right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has
Do
the
I,
appearance of a living.
do I look dead, or am I still pretty?
Oh yeah. We
let's-
did make
you know what?
you up.
I am
Let's,
makeup
but
done.
yeah, but there's been a bit of combat. Let's, Bansii, just roll a power roll for me. Let's see how your makeup is
See if you
doing at
kept
this
your
point.
makeup.
It almost looks
I
worse
look-
because you look like a real elf, but like with pieces just
There,
annihilated.
yeah, there's a couple like patchy
falling off.
pieces where it's like this elf, this living-looking elf, looks like pieces of them are just missing.
As I look, and I'm like, what the fuck? Do you need help? Like, you're like falling apart, literally.
Oh no! I'll like wipe my face and say I'm a revenant.
There is an
Oh,
undead elf in front of you,
Um,
which is a bit uncommon, but not crazy uncommon in this world.
let's see. And is there like any cultural or religious stuff that the Revenant deal with, or what? Would I know that? Because I've
It's
Stuff
very
like that,
it's
like in
very
how to
specifically dependent on each like revenant. Kind of like classic D&D rules, like unfinished business type scenario, curses type scenario, a lot of that stuff. We haven't really talked about where you want to be from. Do you think you are like, where do you come from? Are you from Capital, like the main like biggest city in the world scenario? Where like all of these organizations are from, or are you from a different place, do you think?
I'm more from like a dwarven
Sure.
stronghold or whatever. So
Okay. Then I would say you have probably seen and heard of revenants and know that like different revenants are very different in how and why they exist. So it kind of depends on each different one. And you don't have any particular like information on the cultural significance of revenants via Capital.
yeah, I wasn't really sure if it was more like a World of Warcraft style where they're undead and have their own society style.
Well, so that would be the cultural relevance of Capital thing. There is
Yep.
like a whole group in Capital
There's a
that
house.
are like
okay.
a big faction, but without without having been there. Like, if you feel like it would be an interesting thing for Indiana to have been to Capital and so know a little bit about it, then yeah, you would probably be like, oh, well, yeah, there's a whole, like, district of the undead in Capital.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's just kind of,
Yeah.
it's a uncommon thing, but not a rare thing in the rest of the world.
Okay. Yeah, my
And,
guy's very well read, but
Sure.
not very street smart, if you understand. Like,
The only
so-
issue with the well-read would be, like, it depends on, like, is he well-read as in, like, he reads a lot of, like, literature, or is he, like, keeps up on the news? The undead thing in Capital is only, like, a decade old, is the issue.
I guess his is more historical concept, not more recent.
So that might be, like, that might come as a surprise to you
Okay.
if you ever find that out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, hello, Lady Revenant. Yes, I'm. Yes. What was the question?
There was a lot of
We
We
talking
segued.
between-
We above boarded it a whole bunch. Tabletop.
I feel like that was in character though. He was just
Oh, it was,
distracted
it
by
was.
the Revenant for a moment.
What?
Yeah, yes, it was. It was in character.
I am fine.
Ah, good. Well, now what?
No. Oh, by the way, I'm Uvik, and I offered 2 of my right hands to shake yours and let you pick between them.
I just stick my hand out. I'm like indecisive. I'll just go back and forth between them, and then I guess pick the lower one since I'm
Take,
so
take
short.
bowl.
Hello, Uvik. I'm India Stones.
Thanks for the help. You caught us at the end of a bit of a lengthy investigation, and we're a little worse for wear. So you quite literally saved our asses.
Oh, no problem. My pleasure. Unfortunately, I didn't act sooner. I didn't know what was going on.
It's all
I
good.
take a quick
We're just
once-over.
casually hanging out next to the medieval equivalent of a nuke. Just
A nuke. What's
Yeah,
a nuke?
I give
Oh,
Indy a quick once over. Does he have like? Is he part of the Navy? Same as us.
So Indiana, you and I both know the answer to this, but I would ask you, are you wearing anything that obviously signifies whether or not you're a part of any organization? Like, do you have like a badge or an epaulet or any sort of signifying marker?
I have a little patch on my shoulder that is just, shows the auxiliary.
Yeah.
Navy.
Then you see Higgins, he's the same as you. He's an auxiliary marine.
Okay, perfect.
And
then
I think right
I
there.
unbutton one of the top buttons, flip out my lapel to show that I too am a member, but I don't keep it publicly aware.
I think right there is a very good moment for me to point out to our 3 crew members, Higgins, Bansii, and Uvik. This other auxiliary marine has just stumbled into a situation that you were trying to keep quiet from the Navy.
Sure.
I mean,
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Can we pull rank
Ah.
on him? Can we deputize him?
wow. What the fuck?
You approach this.
Fellow
You approach
auxiliary.
this however you want to approach this. You let us know how you want to approach this.
Well, thank you for the help, Master Stones. You've come upon us in a bit of a precarious moment, as you can see, but also a moment we need to keep quiet as much as we can, including from certain chains of command, if you catch my drift.
But shouldn't they know about the literal bomb underneath them?
Should they?
I'm gonna-
Probably.
I think this is an interesting thing to point out to Indiana, because I don't think the rest of the party actually rolled for this when they were getting here last time. Indiana, you came into the metal in a very different way, and you're an explorer. This is kind of what you do. You know roughly where you all are right now. You're under the northern corner of the fortifications of the Navy on the hill. This would have blown a hole into the northern wall of the Navy fortifications.
Mm-hmm. How familiar are you with red and white Navy politics in the region?
So Radiant White, where is that? This is out of character, so
Raid Whites
Yeah, so
are
there's-
rat folk.
okay.
With Capital,
Okay,
Capital,
so-
the largest city in this or any age, it's like this big cultural thing, huge cultural melting pot. Dozens and dozens of different races live there. Big whole thing. These are colonies in Little Ix, right? So there's a bunch of different peoples that have come here to, seek fortune or to work, etc., etc. And in this city, in Pouso, there is a little, they call it a metal. It's an underground settlement under the actual city itself of Raiden Whites, right? And they are just as culturally members of Capital as anyone else, but because they're underground, it's often like an out of sight,
They're
out of
seen
mind
as
kind of thing.
lesser.
Yeah.
And they're not considered monsters, correct?
No, not at all.
Okay.
They do operas. They are 100% Capital.
We have a
Do we-
member of
Okay, gotcha.
red and whites on our.
He's here actually.
And we love him
While
dearly.
all this conversation is happening, Ambrosio walks up.
That's
I
a red
forgot he was
and white.
Hey,
Yeah.
Brozio.
Well,
Did,
I'm afraid
Did we
my
know?
current politics. Go ahead.
Sorry, did we know where the other places were? Where the other barrels
Yes,
were?
those were
They were
handled
already
by
taken care
other
of.
groups.
Yeah, the conductor would have mentioned it to you offhand in like the concept of here's where we know they were setting these up. We can take care of a couple. We need you to take care of one. So he sent you to one of them while they were trying to go stop the others, basically.
All right.
Do we want to trust him? Team?
Hear me out.
Okay.
Conductor, I don't think we have a choice.
Okay.
If they were going to blow them up, they would have already done so by now.
Right. I
Fair.
think we would have heard something, felt something.
But I'll quickly try to get Indy up to speed. To make a long story short, we found an individual in the metal who was being controlled, and in being controlled had sort of gathered a sort of militia of Raiden Whites to perform some acts of terrorism here in the city, and we managed to break him of the mind control, but things were already in motion. Now, our concern upon higher-ups finding about this is the way that retribution, for lack of a better word, would be handled against the metal and the Raiden Whites for the actions of this mind-controlled individual.
I
So,
see.
You know, because cops are
trying
so
to
good
clean
at
this up.
de-escalation.
We're trying to clean this up before it escalates into a real political issue.
All right. I do think this needs to be brought to somebody's attention, but we could report that we've been following the raccoons, discovered they were goblins, and then fell upon their plans to do this, and that way
I already
they'll know, they'll at least know about this, and maybe the eyes of accusation will then be on these goblins instead of the Raiden Whites.
I already have some permission from leadership to investigate the fires at the warehouse, which led me to the raccoons, which led, in theory, us to the goblins here. So we could always use that permission as orders.
That's true.
If we needed
when
to.
you asked the
Yeah.
console was like, have at it.
So I do have permission if we need it.
I'm not opposed
I
to
mean,
it.
what are the
My
chances the
only-
goblins were responsible for the fires? I mean, it seems kind of likely.
It does.
My only
I mean,
concern
you know
with
from your
this-
investigations, Bansii, that the warehouse that burned down was storing gunpowder in it.
Yes, I do know that.
And they had thought that it would blow up because of the fire, but then it didn't.
Yes.
He took it.
Because the gunpowder
So-
wasn't there. Yeah.
My only concern with this is sort of getting into the same situation, right? If we say, oh, the goblins are trying to blow things up, we kind of need to find out if all the goblins were in on this, or if this is, again, a small group that's trying to take this and run with it. I don't know that I want to say, yeah, goblins were trying to blow everything up, and now there's a goblin purge here.
Well, we
Agreed.
do we have to choose between a Raiden White purge and a Goblin purge?
Or we try to find more information and prevent any purge.
How's so this conversation is happening out loud in front of you, Indiana. How are you feeling about this? Like, how does Indiana react to all of this stuff getting said?
Does
is
Indiana
like
hate goblins? He's like, oh, let's give.
Maybe. I was going more for along the lines, is like Indiana like a duty bound individual? Does he feel like, oh, I have to report this to the Navy, it's the right thing to do? Or are you like seeing what the party is saying and going like, oh, okay, yeah. And also, how are you physically reacting?
I'm just staring at them like wide-eyed and wide-mouthed, and then like wringing my hands. I'm like, y'all are awfully trusting while I'm looking up at them, and then like y'all are discussing all this. I haven't even said a word. Like he's like, can you trust me? And then he was like, oh, and then y'all just started talking. I didn't even say anything. And so
You see a hint of violence in Higgins' eyes as he looks at you.
for all I knew,
Burn the
there was just
blade.
goblins down here and gunpowder, and then all you're saying is this whole conspiracy with the Ratkin, or is it Ratkin?
Professor
Raiden
Radigan.
White.
Raid
At this
White,
point, it's
yeah.
either trust
Right,
you or kill
right,
you.
right.
So,
I mean, I prefer trust me. So you're saying that the goblins didn't put this gunpowder down here?
Oh yeah, they did.
the goblins, as far as we understand, it was the goblins in conjunction with mind-controlled Raiden Whites.
So,
But
and
it
I'm pointing
seems
to
like
I'm pointing to Ambrosia over here, the Raiden White. I'm like, well, who's this, and what are they doing? Like, are they with the Raiden White, or like, who are they? What's their story?
Bro is a member of our crew, our ship.
He
The
like
unfortunate
salutes
Scorpion.
you, and he says, "Nice to meet you, Captain. I'm Ambrosio, member of the unfortunate Scorpion."
Ensign Bro.
He's a young guy, so he's very like full of bluster and bravado and everything like that, and it's very clear like he's trying to impress anyone around him. So he comes off as awkward,
But he also has the markings of being a Navy member.
Yeah, he's also quite banged up, right? Like he was also
Mhm.
clearly in fighting, just not in this fight.
So
So,
from our investigation thus far, it seems like the item that was mind controlling the Raiden Whites was given to them by the Goblin. So our current working theory is that the Goblins are behind the overall scheme. But I don't think we do, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeremy, we don't have a name to put to who's leading them or what's...
No, not like a leader or a faction's name. You just know, I do not remember it off the top of my head, but you know the general name for this, like, clan of goblins. Like, this group of goblins were the goblins that literally lived in this bay, where they drove them out, and then they built Pouso here. Like,
Now,
2 years ago.
so
It actually
goblins
makes me
considered
think of a
lesser
question, though.
beings?
Go ahead.
Are goblins considered lesser beings? Like, so they're not part of the capital races?
No, back in Capital, it's one of those colonialistic kind of like things. In Capital,
Okay.
they're fine, right? But when they got here, this archipelago is very like Mesoamerica-ish, right? It
Okay.
just suddenly
First Nations people.
it
that got kicked
it
out when we first
appeared
got
out
here.
of nowhere 2 years ago in the middle of the ocean, and then ships found it, and then people were like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And then they find, resources and shit like that, and of course, powerful factions are like, "Oh, let's go take shit." And there's like this cultural like backlash, and there's a whole lot of shit going on behind the scenes that we haven't really like jumped into. But the fact of the matter is that military and colonists and things like that have shown up and displaced peoples here, right?
Gotcha. All right, so how would I recognize their clan?
Oh yeah,
or
I think so.
tribe? Okay.
The Ezkatuan is the name. You would probably, as like the type of person you are who's interested in this type of stuff, you'd just be like, oh, it's the goblins who lived here were the Ezkatuan.
Yeah, the Escutuans were here. Are here.
And
So-
you
So that
you
actually
would
are
brings
know.
up a
this-
question that I was curious about. Are the Escatuans actually integrated
No.
into society again here? Okay.
No. So that is a thing
Okay.
that one of you would know, at least Indiana and potentially one of the others would know, is that they were displaced. They were like fully driven, because it wasn't like a peaceful meeting necessarily. They were militarily driven into the hills in the surrounding area and have lost their ancestral homelands. So they are not. There are goblins in Pouso, but it's a very like small amount of like capital goblins, right? And you probably see them here and there, and there are probably some living down here in the metal, because it's a pretty
Higgins'
natural thing for them.
Anti-capitalism kicks in, and he looks at the barrels, ready to light them now.
but yeah, it's like there are goblins in Pouso, but there are not Ezkatuan in Pouso.
Okay.
Okay.
They are a militant force outside of the city that is pretty consistently harassing or causing issues.
That makes me feel a little bit better about telling the commanders of what's down here then, and we can say that the goblins were definitely running it. I feel a little bit less bad about it now.
At the very least, we need to tell them that's down
I
here.
feel
so
not-
more
we
bad,
not
but less
alive.
bad.
about it.
I feel a different kind of bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can just report what I just saw. Like the Escutuans with a bunch of gunpowder beneath the north wall. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
We
know.
could
That's
we could either send Indy back up or send Bro back up to report it while we stay here and just keep an eye out in case they come back. Because I don't think we can move all these barrels ourselves. We're gonna need to get a crew down here to move this.
Like looking
I
at
can
all
summon more
this.
snakes.
Yeah. Oof. That just made
Jeremy
me,
froze as he
that-
did that with the funniest face.
that made me I literally froze. That like made me flinch. I was just like yeah, there's looking at this like pile, this wall of gunpowder. It for a small group, they've been moving this stuff for weeks through the tunnels. Like especially in order for it to not get noticed, they would have to do it in small enough batches that this is at least weeks, if not months worth of work.
Okay. Well, we should probably get moving, get a crew down here to
I
get this
can-
cleared out as soon as we can.
What if I summon some of my golems and block off where they left from?
Yeah, we certainly could. I think that's a good
How
approach.
long,
It makes
how
it
long do
less
these guys
likely.
I'll like tap on one. How long do these guys stick around?
They're just rocks now, so they're there forever.
Forever?
They're
Until we
just
move.
Friggin' Indiana
It's just
Stone's out here
rocks.
terraforming.
He's
Hell
literally
yeah.
terraforming. Yeah, absolutely. Oh god. Okay, cool. So it seems like at least a little bit of a plan has been reached. Indiana, you take a few moments to like go to some of these exits, the ones that you and the rest of the party were not like actually venturing from, and summon some of your golems, and then have them punch each other until they collapse into rocks, because we've discovered that if you just dismiss them, they don't collapse into rocks. But either way, right, like, you're able to wall off several of these tunnels, and shortly thereafter, however you all decide to do it, you can send people to like go get others, have some people wait here, etc., in a matter of hours, right? The appropriate individuals are informed. You all are relieved of your posts, and you are able to basically like call the end of this situation, like it's resolved. And there were no other massive explosions throughout the city. It seems as if the conductor and his folk were able to do their part in preventing any other detonations in any other locations. And so I'm gonna ask like the final scenario of how circumspect do you try to keep this, or is it just being reported, and or does anyone try to keep their specific involvement out, or is it like, nah, we're all in this together?
I'm generally trying to keep the Raiden Whites as
Yeah.
away from
You're
this
so
as
I
possible.
got the story, right? Like the story is that, you were investigating the warehouse fires, and you followed some leads, and then you found this group of Eskatuan who had this plot to blow up, a hole in the fortifications walls for whatever reason, right? That's the like story. My question is it like, oh, Yuvik wasn't here, Yuvik was back on the boat, or so and so wasn't? Is anyone trying to keep their involvement specifically out of it, or is it like the whole crew was here, this was a thing we undertook, etc., etc.?
If y'all
I'm
worried
more
about
than happy to be part of this. So
if y'all worried about being secretive, I could just report that, and I saw the goblins down here, and walled them off or whatever, and then report the gunpowder.
I'm not worried about being part of this. I'm worried about the Raiden Whites being implicated. So
Yep, that's it.
no worry from me there.
Okay. If that is the case,
We about to be fucked.
this
Yay!
is
If
an
we
incredible matter of
look,
naval
Plan B.
security.
if this all goes to shit and we get caught with our pants down, we're stealing the Scorpion and we're becoming pirates.
It is 4 a.m. and you all find yourself standing in... Oh. Just move to the generic map. It is 4 a.m. and you all find yourself standing in the office of
She gonna be
console
mad.
of the console
be so
Miriam
mad.
Haruto.
Oh no. We're
Uh,
already standing in front of the principal.
yeah,
Jesus.
it is not even dawn. You get people down there, like you are relieved of your post, and then you are very quickly informed that you are to, all four of you, are to report to the office of the consul in the Naval Administration building in the Naval Yards. And so around 4 a.m., because you guys started this super late, do not ask me, I do not know why Indiana is up this late exploring. We're just
He's a
gonna
night
skip
owl,
past
don't worry
that.
about it.
He's a night owl. He likes it's whatever, you know.
Night vision's good.
Yeah, it's
He was
good.
underground. He lost
It was
track of time.
It's fine. It's fine.
Dwarven thing.
So
It was just an early morning start, is what it was.
you are at 4 a.m. in the office of Miriam Haruto, the highest administrative authority of the Navy in the archipelago of Little Ix. And this woman looks the exact same as you saw her the last time. She is not like, oh, you got me out of bed. She is not like, oh, I'm still in my, like a robe or sleeping clothes. She is full, like, decked out, fresh pressed, like, military gear. Looks bright-eyed. Looks like she has been awake for hours, sitting behind her desk, tapping a fingernail. And we're gonna
Warforged or something?
I'm gonna just speed through the concept of has already asked you all to tell her what the fuck is going on, and you have given her this story of, hey, last time we were here, Bansii asked about fires and got permission to look into these this warehouse fire, and we followed some leads and, noticed missing gunpowder, but we weren't sure about anything. And then we found our way down in the metal on some of these leads, found the Ezkatuan, found this big store of gunpowder, got into a fight with them. Indiana showed up coincidentally and was able to assist, and then yada 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 yada. Right? Perfect. So she is heard this story, is digesting the story, and is looking at all of you and just asks, that's what you want entered into the official record?
Yeah.
That's all I know, man.
With a question.
Okay. Good job, Marines. You're dismissed. She looks away, and presumably on the dismissal, you all turn to leave.
Bansii will stop and let her know that the fires do not seem to have any connection to any of the fires in Capital, especially those with children's hospitals. The investigation did not lead there.
She kind of frowns and nods. Good to know. You three, and she points to the crew members of the unfortunate Scorpion, says, your shore leaves up. Report back to my office for new assignments. I'll see you in 2 hours.
Breakfast?
All right. Yeah, I use some food.
Bansii will look at Indiana Stones, see what he
Breakfast?
thinks about that.
I'm just, brushing my hair and yeah, if you'll have me.
Yeah. Higgins is quite the cook.
Oh, on your ship? I thought we were just going to
What's-
chow.
Yeah.
What's the? Well, yeah, I'm going to make our own food at the chow hall. This is unacceptable. I don't eat trash in a chow hall.
Oh. Well, that's much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay.
And what's the? Is it a? What's her title? The
Consul.
boss lady. Consul.
Yeah.
I will actually ask Indy and I guess Council at the same time. Just out of curiosity, Indy, are you stationed here long term? Are you? What's
Oh no, I just got
what's your
contracted out.
future look like?
I just got contracted out to look for resources down in the tunnels, and I guess that's done. So
Well, Consul, we find ourselves down a crewmate, and Indy was pretty helpful. If he wants to come along, would you allow it?
And I owe him a life debt.
The
We all
three
smile really cheesily.
the three acting auxiliary marines of the crew of the Scorpion are to report to me at 6 a.m. for their next assignment. Should they bring along any other individuals that might be helpful on that assignment, it might be prudent and acceptable.
All right, Consul. I turn on my heel and head out.
Y'all just press gang Indiana just straight up like.
I
No,
just
I said if he wants to. If he wants
I
to.
did not.
I just look
I
back
regret
and forth
nothing.
between everybody, and then scurry off to follow.
You're like, okay.
Holding his,
Sure.
I was trying to save you having to shoehorn him into the crew, okay?
I like how you think. I haven't already spent like an hour and a half coming up with how do I shoehorn him into the crew.
Oh, I know you did. That's why I was just trying to let you skip all that.
But this,
And I was
this
sitting
works
there, I was
perfectly
like
well,
looking
too.
for like some kind of sign on Indiana Stones' face that he wants to go with us, and he didn't give me anything. Like,
Look,
okay,
you
well,
can say that.
fine.
We're gonna go to breakfast and be like, these guys are
Hang it out.
freaking weird. I'm leaving.
That's
Alright.
true. That's true. Thank you for the baby pilot.
You all are leaving the administration building in the naval yards. This place doesn't seem to really sleep very much. Like, it seems just as busy at 4 a.m. as it did when you got here 3 days ago. There are just as many people walking up and down the hallways, just as much movement, just as much hustle and bustle. And then you walk outside the administration building, and the naval yard is basically dead, right? Like, there's no light filtering in. The like dawn is still an hour and a half away, right? Type scenario. And it's like you see guards, Navy members around here or there, but like there's no activity. It's like night and day versus in and out of the administration building. You head back towards the docks, leading Indiana Stones, this new acquaintance, your vessel, the Scorpion. And as you arrive, you see anchored, not 50 yards away, at the end of a much longer, much larger pier, is the HED Volge. The Vice Admiral Valderos's flagship.
The head bulge.
Is that one really pompous
the
dude?
Foppish guy?
Yeah, that's the foppish guy that you all met with Consul Gerardo last time. That is the guy that is the only person in Little Ix that rivals or outranks the consul, but only in strictly military matters.
Okay. Should we be concerned about that for some reason?
I mean, there are a bunch of different vessels docked all up and down the naval yards. It's just the last time you saw the Volge, it was anchored out in the harbor.
Oh, okay.
So,
I have a feeling that our coming orders may be related.
I see. Is the Volge a newer ship or is it an older ship? Like
it is a very new ship. Very new ship.
Okay.
State of the art, big as fuck. Like, it's one of those like Renaissance triple decker style, like crazy big ship. And you're going to the Scorpion, which is like a single mast. Like,
You got a sloop.
yeah, it's a small boat.
But she's sturdy.
You sturdy? She goes.
Oh. It's a very nice ship. It's better than my ship. I have no ship.
That would be better than your ship. But,
Yes.
We'll come aboard. I'll whip us up some breakfast. Allergic to anything?
No, not really.
You hesitated.
No,
I
not
want
really.
to kill you with something.
Allergic?
I
No. Don't like
I-
certain things? Yes.
I mean, you don't know what you're allergic to. If you don't know, it's not like there's tests for it.
True.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. All right. I head down to the kitchen, start cooking up some breakfast.
Indiana, you are taken aboard the vessel, the Scorpion. You get you very briefly met Ambrosio already. You meet a couple of the other members of the crew, Yoham, Chella, Yoham being this kind of like middle-aged, almost kind of foppish human man, Chella being a younger, polder woman, halfling, right, styled scenario. And you are kind of semi-conversationally inducted into this crew. If y'all want to detail anything specific, by all means, have at it.
This is
Other-
probably
Otherwise, we can
way
continue.
more formal and seamless than what Jeremy had planned.
Oh yeah, totally.
Your double sarcasm is noted.
I'm going to tell you straight up, this is basically exactly what I had planned, just a different order of operations.
Uh,
So how long have y'all
as
been a crew?
Indy's getting the, as Indy's getting the tour and stuff, I come back up with breakfast. Whipped up a goulash. I haven't had a chance to go to the market since we've been so busy during shore leave, so it's just a bunch of stuff we had left over on the ship. Got some eggs, bacon, some potatoes mixed in there, peppers, all mixed together into a nice, delicious breakfast goulash.
I gotta ask, are you actually like Googling what am I making right now, and then like
Nope,
looking for me?
nope.
Or are you just
That
okay.
was just what I came
That's
up with
just
at the
off
time.
top. Okay, gotcha. I'm really interested to see the progression of Higgins making food, of like what you resort to, if we're gonna start getting repeat recipes, or if you're gonna start like taking like notes or shit like that, or like this is what we've got the supplies for. I'm making X.
So, Mark, for context, I have a perk called Master Chef.
Oh, nice.
So, when you eat food that I make, you get an extra recovery die for that day. So you can heal
Oh,
an
wow.
additional time when you eat my food. However, the downside of it is that I get detriments if I don't eat my own cooking.
Because he's a picky bitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
He's like, everyone
Um,
else's food is eh.
I take it and I look at it. I'm like, well, this looks good, great. I take a bite and then I just start scarfing it down. Like, oh, it's so good.
like
Well, there's
like
plenty.
Goku with
Have at it.
Are we
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in
there's
the
just- There's
kitchen?
just bowls piling up.
Y'all are wherever
So
you
much
want to
better
be.
than Chaffle.
You can be in the
We'll probably
dining
be
room,
back
you
up
can be
on
on the
deck
deck, you
eating
can be wherever you want to be.
Okay.
So how long have you all been a crew?
Months?
About
3
2
months?
months for the
Yeah, I was
newest
about to say,
person, I
'cause
think.
Oh, wow.
right, because we have, I can't remember how long it was. Wasn't it 2 months before the adventure started?
Yeah.
So
So,
it'd be like
2
2
months and
some
like a
change.
week, basically at this point.
Yeah. So some of us have been in the Navy for longer, but the crew, all of us together, have been together about 2 months.
Yeah.
I've been in the Navy, I think I said like a year-ish.
Yes.
Ah, so who's the captain? Is this like y'all's ship, or is it like a Navy ship, or like who's the captain?
It's a Navy ship.
Ambrosio
Music's
pipes
the
up. Ambrosio
captain-ish.
pipes up at this and says, "You're all captains, Captain.
What?
You're all
You,
you're all
We share the
Marines, and therefore
responsibility.
you all outrank all of us. Therefore, each one of you is the captain until such time as you all decide that only one amongst you is the captain. But that hasn't happened yet. So, all captains, Captain.
Ah, well, thank you, Captain Ambrosia.
Oh, no.
No, he's not a captain.
I'm not a Marine, sir. I could only wish to be a Marine. One day.
I thought you were auxiliary like us.
No, sir. Not yet, sir.
So, okay.
I look
So
at
it's like-
Ambrosia still jacked up from the fight. Go get some rest.
I'm sitting here.
You
over
see him,
here,
like, look
bleeding
around?
on 9 HP.
He looks down at his bowl. Yes, Captain. And his face dives into his bowl and like, and stands up and leaves to go get rest because he's been ordered to go get rest.
And
well-
before he disappears off into the cabin quarters, I'll say, "Hey, Ambrosio, you did good.
You
Proud of
did.
You have spent a bit of time with Ambrosio. You've never seen him with the look of unadulterated jubilation on his face like you see right now. Which I think this is a great time, good a time as any to say Ambrosio has, through this experience, leveled from a basic crew member into a level 1 retainer.
Hell
Do we
yeah.
get to pick his class?
He is a swashbuckler.
He's not a hero."
He
Oh.
is a swashbuckler retainer, basically.
All right, next level we're multi-classing.
He's basically that rat-crobat that you fought, just not quite as good yet.
I'm gonna train him to be a shadow with me, and we're gonna teleport
Damn it.
around stabbing
I
things.
swear to God, no. Now there are
Like,
2 of
fucking-
them. This is getting out of
It's
hand.
like
I-
hidden
I-
Teller doing
I-
magic tricks.
I want nothing but shadow retainer.
You blink, 20 people blink behind you. God.
Horrifying. Truly horrifying.
It is truly horrifying. All right, very cool.
Sorry, Jay, you were saying something. I cut you off.
Yeah.
So, didn't the console want us back in 2 hours? Like, right? Like, it took a little bit to get here, then you had to cook, and then, so should
Yeah,
we go
we're
back?
probably getting close.
It's probably like a 15-minute walk
soon.
and then like a 20,
Oh,
30 minute cook, and then, you need at least 15 minutes to get back. So you probably got like an hour-ish to kill without
Okay.
too much worry.
I mean, feels as good a time as any to give a little breakdown of each of us and what we got going on.
Oh yeah.
I'm Higgins Pebbleworth, the late butler to Lord Brax. You may not know him. We're from across the ocean, but I joined the Navy in search of my lord. He was, well, not in search of my lord, in search of the killers of my lord. And I've been hunting a mercenary group for quite a while now. I studied at the College of insert name here that I don't remember right now. And I specialize in espionage and disguises and the various like.
Okay, hold
as
that
well
thought.
as a bit of stabbing.
Hold that thought. Describe who Higgins is as a physical. After you just said, I specialize in espionage and disguising. Describe physically and featurally who the fuck Higgins is.
Yeah, totally. Higgins is a 7.5 feet tall giant rock man who weighs like, I think it was something around like 1,200 pounds or something. Quite
Super
large,
obscure.
wielding
You
a
can
massive
tell-
glaive.
You can tell where Higgins is on the ship, anywhere on the ship, just by which way the boat's leaning.
But Indy levels me out now because I think the dwarves are really heavy.
Dwarves
too.
are also
Oh, we are.
heavy rock people. Yeah.
Dense boys.
Dense boys.
Dense crew.
But
Dense
out of
crew, except
character,
Bansii is not dense.
I'm not dense.
I like
either.
weight nothing.
I think Yuvik has hollow bones. We decided.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I might have like underspec my weight a little bit.
Alright, so that was a good
But
introduction on
so
Higgins.
out of character, I'm a shadow. So I do lots of like rogue, sneaky, teleport and stab stuff.
It's like a D&D rogue meets Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can teleport to shadows and then hide.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Mhm.
Other introductions?
As stated previously, I'm Yuvik. I hail from the lands of Hagara, far off to the east. I specialize in, tactical choices. I was on a previous crew who partook in some privateering.
They were pirates.
And
I was
mostly trying to
wondering
keep the
how
renown
hard he
to a
was going to
minimum.
avoid saying I'm an ex-pirate.
No. I mean, I thought about trying to but at this point, I've told everybody else already,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't fucking matter, right? Anyway, I lost my crew in my ship in a raid, and I'm trying to find that crew. I don't have a boat, but I knew the Navy did, so I joined.
Well, met.
I grew up as an orphan. I
Life
don't
story.
know much about my race other than I'm called a time raider. I don't know what that implicates.
Yeah.
I just know that I've got 4 arms, and usually when I'm running around in public, and you'll see me just kind of tuck my back arms into my cloak, so I just have my front 2 out. And
Yeah.
look normal-ish.
Indiana, you have probably seen, they're rare, but you have probably seen the race that Higgins is. It's a Hakan, right? Big stone people, right? Probably not common, but at least more common probably around where you're from, right?
Correct.
The undead elf, you've seen elves. The undead part is maybe a little less common, but okay. Yuvik looks, when he doesn't have all four arms out, he looks kind of like a weird lanky orc is what he looks like. Which orcs are common everywhere, no big deal. Not an inherently evil race or anything like that. Members of societies all over the world. This motherfucker with 4 green 4 arms, you have never seen one of these sons of bitches before. But with your background, I think from a research, from a history set, probably pretty logical that you're like, oh, Time Raider. Time Raiders are from, they're basically from space.
Right. Ah, yeah, I know your people. I mean, I know of them, but I mean,
I
Ti-
don't
Time
even
Raiders.
know my. I just grew up with a bunch of misfits.
I mean, I got to look up, and that's where y'all from. In space.
Space.
Yuvik looks up. Home.
Oh.
E.T. phone.
E.T.
No.
Oh, if I
Oh,
with the
no.
light. Yeah, actually got my pink finger to glow.
I mean, I know some histories involving Time Raiders, but I mean, if you want,
I
I can share.
we might have to share some stories then. That's very outlandish, but in a world where there's magic, I suppose that space travel is probably not as crazy as it sounds.
Space
There's a
referred
magic for
to
everything.
in Drawsteel as the Sea of Stars.
So your people are essentially, pirates of a different kind. Instead of the water, it's
Oh,
They very much are.
so despite me not even knowing my heritage, I fell into it anyway. Great.
it's in your blood.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
Uh,
and you, Lady Raven, what's your story?
My name is Banner of Light on a Quiet Sea, and I am a high elf. I used to be a watch officer in charge of the care and protection of a children's hospital in the capital. I'm from the capital. I died in the fire that took and claimed the lives of the children in that hospital. And I remain as a revenant looking to find the culprit who tried to kill all of the children that were in my care. So I'm that person, and I am using the rest of, I suppose, my life as it is to help those in need. But you can call me Bansii. It's easier for the children to call me Bansii. So, Bansii.
Oh, well, well met, Bansii. I brush off my coat and kick back the chair and jump on it, and I guess it's my turn.
The chair shatters underneath you, and you go boom right back onto the deck.
Cracking a few boards in the deck of the ship.
No, the deck is good.
sorry.
The deck was designed in mind with Cobb, right? Or
Falls
to
to the deck.
That's true.
deal with the dwarf.
Cracks
but
the keel.
that
Take on
particular
water.
chair, not necessarily so much.
I roll onto my side and then quickly get onto my knees and step. I'm like, oh, that was cooler in my head. I'm Indiana
I mean,
Stones.
it was pretty cool.
Embarrassing, more like it, but I'm Indiana Stones, a legendary explorer, or at least I want to be. Pretty much all my experiences, in the library. So I'm out here. My uncle, he died, and he left me his stuff, and so now I'm going to be the legendary explorer like him, Harry Stones. You should know of him, right? Harry Stones.
I am familiar with Harry Stones.
Yeah.
I actually think this is an interesting thing. I want Higgins to make me a power roll, but I also want Indiana to make me a power roll.
Was Harry Stones part of the criminal underworld?
Would he be known in capital?
I rolled really well. Wow, we're really good at rolling dice.
Yes.
Not Higgins. You don't know who the fuck Harry Stones is, and Indiana. I meant to do this earlier, but there was a chance when Higgins mentioned his prior master, Lord Brax, that you might have been familiar with that name, but you are not. So.
That is probably good. But yes, so I'm out here to get some experience and
Make a name for yourself.
Yes, and maybe find out what happened to my uncle. But we'll see what happens. But that's me.
Well, hopefully we can help you find some information along the journey.
But I'm your man if you want to anything about cultural history, magic, monsters, religion, pretty much any of that. I did all the investigative work for my uncle, but I mean that's all history stuff, not really more recent. So I don't know much about recent stuff. So sorry about that in advance.
I will say your style of fighting I've never seen before. It seems very effective.
Oh yes, I'm a summoner. when I was thinking, going to be an explorer, I was like, how can I protect myself? And I was like, why don't I have others protect me? And then I got my summoner stuff. I joined the Circle of Storms. Elements is where it is,
Yes, I do know.
Really interesting.
As
Do
I
you
think
do you have to make like a pact with the things you summon, or do you just like mold them from magic?
It's more like I coerce and the elements themselves. I spend my essence is essentially what it's called, and it brings the elements to life themselves.
How interesting.
I don't
Seen
deal with
that
all
scene.
the packs of demons and stuff like that. Nope.
I'm
Too
seeing
much
that
trouble.
scene
Too much legal
where
trouble.
that
Sorry, go ahead.
guy with the
Bansii over there
scimitar was
that
like
bleeds
doing all
people's
that
brains.
sword stuff.
Hey,
and
the
then
void is
in
just
the insect
another
just
element.
summons a giant rock monster over him.
Sometimes a demon could make a very good ally.
Did you just recreate in your head the Indiana Jones shooting the guy with the sword scenario?
Yeah.
And
Except he's
instead,
summoning a
it's
giant rock
Indiana
golem over him
Stones just
instead.
drops a rock golem on his head.
And then turns around and walks away.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah,
have
yeah.
that in my head canon now. I like it. I like it. Okay.
So what is it y'all want with me? I appreciate it, but I mean, I'm not sure how I can help.
I must
Honestly,
repay my life debt.
Bansii has to pay a life debt. But also, we used to have another member of the crew who got pulled away on a sabbatical, I guess. I don't know what you call it.
New assignment.
But he had a new assignment that pulled him away, so we find ourselves down a member. And as you can see in that last fight, things get a little hairy from time to time. Pardon the phrase, considering your uncle. And we could use another set of hands to help.
It's honestly, I think anything's better than staying in with the historian and the researchers. It really wasn't that fun.
Yeah,
And
they're
I
boring.
used to stay in libraries all the time.
Meredith
So-
would be heartbroken.
They were more boring than libraries. Ooh.
All this
well, I mean,
technical, it's not my thing.
you don't have to decide right this moment, but if you decide you want to come with us, you are welcome. We got space. We got a room for you here on the ship.
Well, I can tell you one thing
Um,
that's heavily in your favor: the cooking. I don't have much money on
Well, there's
myself,
more
so
of-
I've been eating at the chow hall the whole time, and tell you what, that cooking is delicious.
Well, there's
Oh,
more
yeah,
where that
you-
came from.
You
Don't
actually
worry.
specifically don't have a lot of money on yourself, right? I forgot about that. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know that we're particularly
No.
rolling in the dough, but
He has a background feature or a complication.
are you gambler? Are you a
whatever.
gambler?
No, I just, my uncle, he was a famous explorer and he was wealthy, but I didn't get anything. I got, just one thing, and so.
And a little bit of debt.
You got
Yeah.
his medical debt. I get it.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to get money. That's another reason I started trying to explore, get out of the library, and so yeah, here I am.
I'll tell you what. Once we speak to Miriam here in a few minutes, once we find out what we're doing, you can make the call then, see if you're interested in tag along or not.
Sounds like an excellent plan. Thank you.
Speaking of which, might be time to start thinking about moseying back towards the administrative building unless there's any final tasks that people need to take care of.
I think I'm good to start heading.
Bansii will go hide her cookies.
From
And then
who
we'll be out.
specifically? Or just in
The
general?
rest of the crew.
Okay. I like the idea that even though Higgins just keeps making these cookies for her, Bansii has this like ritualistic act of every time she's leaving the ship, she's got to like make sure her cookies are hidden in a new location. All right.
That's right. You never know.
Very good. Very good.
You gotta be careful.
Dawn breaks, and the party begins to head back through the naval yards, up towards the fortifications on the hill, and to the naval administrative building there. Much more foot activity at this point. With dawn having broken, the city is has awoken. You can hear the sounds of the morning activities throughout the city kind of echoing. It's a loud place. It's a packed place. And here, even in the naval yards where there's less population, there's still a lot of activity early in the morning. But when you make it back to the administrative building, it seems exactly how you left it 2 hours ago, which is busy, and nothing has changed. You make your way up to the, I believe it was the 3rd floor, to the little foyer, kind of like sitting area outside of the Consul Haruto's office, and you were requested at 6. You make it there at 5:53, let's say, and just like all administration, you're asked to sit and you wait for probably about 20 minutes past 6 o'clock before you are actually brought back into the consul's office, because there's always a new fucking person walking into her office and bringing something to her attention. You come in, she motions to the chairs, and once you all are either seated or remain standing, depending on your preference, she nods and begins speaking. All right. Other matters aside, reports have been written about the situation that resolved early this morning. In the meantime, other developments require our attention and resources. She notes, right, like Indiana in here with the rest of you three, kind of like nods at it, says. Agua Sierra is the northern main island in the archipelago. There is a small settlement on the west side of it. A place called Bejaqueta. Supposed to be a relatively neutral location. And I think for our more indoctrinated players, right, when she says neutral, the meaning is pretty clear, right? Because the two main forces of capital in the archipelago are the Navy and the Fulcrum, right? So a neutral settlement implies a location where neither one is necessarily in power, and there's no like direct factionalism there. A neutral settlement. We had a patrol vessel coming from a round trip circling Agua Sierra. They were approaching the settlement and they were fired upon. The door opens. No knock, no anything else. And Higgins, Bansii, and Uvik see a familiar face walk in to the consul's office as if he owns the place and has every reason to be there without any sort of issue. You see the Vice Admiral Valderos
Hey, Seb.
walk in
We're cool
once
like that,
again,
right?
Like, huh?
I said, hey, Seb, we're cool like that, right?
You actually say that?
Out of character. Out of character. Out of
Okay.
character.
All right. Let you sign your own death warrant. I will. You see Vice Admiral Valderos walk in, and once again, right, like has that capital nobility kind of like features, the physicality of an individual, middle-aged or maybe a little later, long hair, kind of lanky, a thin man, right? That wiry kind of, but from a style standpoint, dressed for action, right? Does not look foppish in a clothing standpoint, but does look foppish from like a hair, and like you can clearly see like makeup, right? Like he is put together in the way of nobility for capital at this time period, but he is dressed as if he is ready for action. Walks in, the door closes behind him. He does not say anything. Just walks over again to the side where there is basically like a drink cabinet, pours himself a drink. There is the barest of sighs from the consul Haruto, and she continues. They were fired upon by the settlement, and you hear a scoff from Valderos. They say they were fired upon, consul. Don't set facts when we don't know them. His back is turned. You see the barest of an eye roll as she can't quite contain it. As she, just responds physically to his statement. They report that they were fired upon and thus were unable to stop in at the settlement. They continued on their way to Poso, where they made this report yesterday. Now, she looks over at Valderos, right, who has now turned and is kind of like regarding all of you with this like glass of liquor in his hand, like 6:30 in the morning, glass of liquor in his hand, right? She looks over at him, and it's very clear now that every word she's saying is like I'm gonna say this as in my opinion, or not trying to twist facts, or blah blah blah, right? Like she has that very like I am speaking like this now tone. She says, I believe it is of the utmost importance for us to investigate this matter and ensure that there is not a hostile force within the Hecata. That is where you all come in. And Balderus kind of doesn't like physically, like, it doesn't roll his eyes or anything like that. Very, like, matter-of-factly goes, yes, that's a good idea. Unfortunately, at this particular time, the bulk of our forces are required to ensure that the Fulcrum's movements on what's that called? On Formiguero are not anything to be alarmed about. sending a small crew like this to investigate such a matter sounds perfectly reasonable. And it sets into, at least for Higgins, Bansii, and Uvik, it's a very different conversation done in exactly the same manner as the last one you witnessed, right? Where both of them are saying the exact right and proper thing that they should be saying, not giving insult, but also very clearly in disagreement, right? Of how and why and what. And there's just this intense undertone throughout that the consul is very used to running things here. The consul is the highest administrative authority of the Navy in the archipelago. The vice admiral only outranks her in matters of military, and specifically the deployment of naval vessels in the scenario that there could be a threat is a military matter. So it's very clear, right, that Valderus is pulling his rank as vice admiral in this particular situation, whereas the consul would much rather send more ships to investigate whatever the fuck is going on in this northern settlement, right? The consul continues by saying, as you have brought to my attention this morning, I am uncertain whether or not the state of your crew is up to the task. As such, you have been given leave to bring along other auxiliaries that are currently unassigned or who have more... what's the word I'm looking for? Valderus speaks up and says, not a part of an active military mission or vessel. I was going to say flexible, actually. And then she says, however, I'm uncertain whether or not you will find enough individuals to satisfy what concerns you may have. As such, she pushes a small envelope across the desk towards Walt. Within our writs of reimbursement, find what crew, what retinue, what retainers you need to feel comfortable in this mission. You are to sail to Behekara. You are to infiltrate the settlement, discover whether or not this assault on one of our vessels occurred. If it did occur, if there is a threat within the settlement, and you can neutralize it, you are to do so. If you cannot, you are to return and report on the situation. Am I understood?
Understood.
You leave before the end of the day. I expect you back within 4 days' time. If I do not hear from you by that time... She doesn't finish the statement. Valderus kind of scoffs as she kind of just lets it hang, right? And then she kind of like waits for a second to see if there's any questions from any of you.
Bansii doesn't understand or read between the lines, so she just looks around.
You're dismissed.
I don't think I have any questions. I mean, the mission's
Pretty
pretty
straightforward.
Haruto, the console, like very slightly inclines her head in a nod. Balderus at the same time scoffs, or deserted, at which point you'll be shot on sight.
We would never
Ha
desert.
ha ha.
That's out of the question.
What
He,
would we do if we deserted?
like, he
Turn to
scoffed, and he said that in a boisterous manner, and Bansii, your reply was pretty deadpan. You see his face go serious, and he just responds, "Good."
Good. Thank you.
Fantastic.
There's a strangeness now between the Vice Admiral and the console, right? Like, the
Because she
console...
said that.
Well, no, the console sees the Vice Admiral go kind of like serious face, right? And then you can see on her face this kind of like look of like, hold up, right? And that's it. There's nothing else going on there, but it's like this undertone internal politics that you don't necessarily know what's happening at the moment, but there's something there.
Okay.
I just gently walk out the door. I'm like, all right, thank you, ma'am, sir.
You all exit the office of the consul. You were given express permission, right, to basically commandeer other crew members to bring your crew up to sufficient numbers to undertake this mission as you choose. With the concept being that you can take auxiliary marines, right? Actual marines are going to have assignments that they cannot be taken from. Auxiliary marines are more flexible, generally speaking. And so, therefore, right, like, if Indiana wants to go with you all he has to do is, like, submit a report to his prior supervisor saying, hey, I'm being commandeered into this position. See you later, basically, right? But also giving you leave to recruit other potential members for this. Right now, you are a crew of 4 auxiliary marines. So 4 individuals of actual combat potential. You have a crew of 4 other members on your ship, one of which is now classified as a retainer. So an actual legitimate combat individual. So I will mechanically put to you what Consul Haruto was basically telling your characters, and that is that it might behoove you to have 2 parties of 4 individuals that could handle combat.
Is that money?
With
So the writs are not money, but they're basically like promissory notes. They're saying like, if you do this thing, the Navy will pay you.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not legit. It's not actual money in the envelope.
It's not like we have to be able to afford it
Mm-mm.
to go find these people.
No.
Okay.
No, this is basically an IOU from the Navy.
So are we talking better people than our current crew for that second group?
So right now, Ambrosio has leveled up and he counts as a level 1 retainer. Yoham, Chella, and Robert are not retainers. They're basically civvy sailors. They have 8 HP, right? So they drop real quick. They're not what I would call combat ready. Basically, the console is saying you might want to get, from a mechanical standpoint, she's not saying this, right? I'm saying this from a mechanical standpoint. You might want to find 3 other people that count as retainers.
Okay.
Okay. So is it going to be like a group project to build these guys from scratch, or are you just going to be like, here's your retainer?
It feels like there's going to be a mercenaries guild or something we got to find.
Well, you already know some people.
Oh. You mean like fucking Blackbird?
Mm.
This
Good point.
is up to you. If you all as a party are like, hey, we know some people, we're gonna go ask them, or nah, let's just go to a mercenary guild or something along those lines and see if we can just hire some people for this trip. That's up to y'all.
'Cause, I mean, I would absolutely bring on Blackbird. She's cool.
I want to hire Odysseus.
Is Blackbird the demon lady?
Does Odysseus have any combat capabilities whatsoever?
You can go ask
We'll find out.
Odysseus, but Blackbird is not the demon lady. That's Aurelia. Blackbird was the high elf marine that her leg got fucked up. That y'all rescued in Grinnell. She's the one who came with y'all to Pouso because she needed a better healer than they had in the sticks, basically. And she did actually ask y'all when she left, when she disembarked from the vessel when y'all first put into Pouso, she was like, "Hey, look me up if y'all leave or if y'all get something to do."
I'll go find Aurelia.
Oh? I thought you didn't like Demon Lady.
I wrote down in my notes potential character to bring back for help.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan.
Verbally, you said, I'll mess you up.
That is, I think, maybe not quote for quote, but probably pretty close.
Bansii was very aggressive towards her.
I was, but then we had a moment. We had a moment
We
where
had a
she was a
moment.
street kid who remembered me. And she sent me to her contact, the priestess that ended up being pretty sound, right?
Yeah, Uchronia. Yeah.
So I'll go find her and see if she's interested at all. I don't remember if she was a strong fighter though or not really, or if we just I feel like she was.
You saw her produce flames, and you remember seeing outside of the northern gates of Grinnell, there was just a circle of charred lizard folk bodies that seemed to be her doing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go find her. And then, do we have? Is this different than D&D? Like, do we have gold?
You have wealth. And I think specifically right now, Bansii, I think you are the only person with wealth, because I'm pretty sure Uvik and Higgins had to use their wealth to bribe their way into the metal to begin with.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go buy our party some health potions.
Okay.
I feel like that would be
try
a
to do
really
a little shopping.
good idea.
Get some stuff.
Yeah, buy like 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they cost and how much I have. It's kind of why I brought it up.
So I will say, this is a thing that just happens with the Navy vessels, because you all already you already used this feature, right? You have a mission from the Navy. The Navy is going to put supplies on your boat, right? They're going to put food and all that stuff, etc., on your boat, because they're sending you out on mission. As a part of that, if you remember, I mean, if you'll remember, the last time in Grinnell when shit kind of hit the fan, Stella brought up a stash of healing potions, right? Those are supplied to the vessel on each mission you go on, right? So you're going to get 4 healing pots from the Navy by going on this mission.
Okay, we're going to definitely buy 4 more.
Okay, sure.
So I don't know how much that is, but I think we definitely need more than 4.
We'll go check. See how that. What are other people doing while this is happening? Shoot me ideas.
I'm gonna go search out Blackbird.
Okay, you're gonna go look up Blackbird. Okay. So, Bansii's gonna try to see if Aurelia's interested. Uvik's gonna go try and see if Blackbird's interested. What are Higgins and Indiana doing? And feel free, like, you guys can double team things. You can tag along with someone else, etc.
I just look around it and I'm like, hey, so y'all are okay with me coming?
Absolutely,
Yes.
brother. Get on the boat.
Okay. Well, I guess
Get in the wagon.
I'll go do what I'm good at, and I'll research the current status of what's going on in Hexan. Do some research on it's Hexan, right?
Behekata
The city.
is the settlement that you're heading towards. It's on the northern isle, Agua Sierra. Actually, here, I don't think Indiana has ever been able to see this, so let's pop over here. Ba, 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 ba.
Agua Sierra. Where would that be located in Little X?
Boom.
Oh, and I guess
wow,
before I
yeah,
go
that's what
buy
I'm
more
looking for.
chocolate. Did
So-
we just did our shopping spree before we did all of this, right?
Yep,
So
absolutely.
we did our shop. Okay,
Yeah.
so I just bought a bunch of chocolate.
So-
But we do need to do the potions because we just went through all of our potions.
Yeah, I still need to label all of these, but this where you all are, right? Like just below you, that little castle looking thing. That's where you're at right now. That's the city of Pausa. It's on the westernmost isle there, Guaxinim. And then up here, this big island up here is Aqua Sierra. So the place that you're headed to is actually in this little bay, right over here. So it's actually not that far away, which is good with this whole like 4-day time limit thing. It'll only actually take you about a day and a half to sail there, which means though that your time at the place is pretty limited. But in theory, all you're doing there is figuring out what's going on and then either fixing it or coming the fuck back.
So once again, the city's name is Behekata.
Yes, Behekata.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go do
Yeah.
some research on Behekata current affairs and whatnot. I'm assuming there's an intelligence department or something like that
Yeah,
around
you
here.
can
Maybe?
absolutely figure something out. 100%.
Okay.
Probably here in the admin building. I mean, this is where.
Right.
So this is where you're probably most familiar with. I don't know how. It's up to you how long you've actually been here in the islands, or even here specifically in Pausa, right? But this is absolutely where your superior would be stationed. Where Meredith would be stationed. She works in this building. So you could go talk to her. You probably need to notify her at the very least of what the fuck's going on. But she also is the official historian or the highest ranking historian and researcher of the Navy here, right? So she is that kind of person of like, I know all of the information, I collate all the information, I organize all of the people who do all of the work on tracking data and information, etc., etc.
And that's what I'll do. I'll go do that, notify her, and also get information on Behekata.
Sounds good. Okay. I'm making notes of who the fuck is doing what. What are you doing, Higgins?
Your
A little
mom.
bit distracted when we were talking about who we were seeing because Rachel came in here. So I heard Blackbird we're looking to recruit.
Uvik is going to go try to recruit Blackbird. You can tag along if you want, or you can try to go, because Bansii is going to try to recruit Aurelia, Uvik is going to try to recruit Blackbird, and now there's a potential third slot missing. I will say, alternatively to like a third rando, right? you could try to approach. Right, it's kind of like Pokemon evolution-esque kind of scenario.
Could we evolve Johann
You
up?
could try to approach Johann, Robert, or Chella, because in theory
Chella.
their contracts are just as sailors, right? So they are represented mechanically as just sailors. But that's not to say that like Robert, for example, doesn't have some sort of background where he could handle himself. It's just that's not his job, and he hasn't had to show that that's his job. So if your concept is rather than getting a rando, can I see if one of our current crew members can be leveled up into a retainer? You could take that approach as well.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be cool to turn Johann into a shadow. So I'm gonna go
damn
train
it.
with my boy.
God damn it! I should have just said no.
No, it's a complete.
He's already got the
mystery.
criminal background.
fuck
He's ready to
you.
go.
Shadow promotion. Yay! All right, cool.
I begin teaching him everything I know about the dark arts.
The dark arts.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. How do I want to handle this? It's 9:50. I feel like if we get too far into the weeds, it'll get late. So we might just call it there. Because I think right now everyone has like a clear, okay, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to go do this. And we can like resolve those. And then once those things are resolved, successfully or not, you basically, like, it's the morning. You were told leave by the end of the day, and also get back in 4 days, right? So time is of the essence. So I basically, it feels like each of you is gonna have a shot to do the thing that you have, you know, kind of like put out there, and then if you're successful, yay. If you're not successful, you're gonna either have to make the decision to go without, whether it's information or personnel, or you're gonna have to figure some way out to get one of those two things in a timely manner, or else it's gonna like cost you time on your trip. So I think we probably stop right there.
I'll roll now, so that way you can say, "Hey," and then you can develop it for next week.
No, I'm gonna develop it anyways. So
Okay.
let's leave it in suspense for next time. Prior to that, though, we stopped as everyone's kind of like you all have left the consul's office and you have an opportunity to discuss things. Are you all just immediately leaving from, like, splitting up from the administration building, or is it like you've traveled back to the Scorpion and then you're all splitting up and leaving from there?
I would assume we'd kind of like talk as we're like exiting the building about like next steps, and people would kind of just split off.
Yeah.
In that case, it would make sense. Indiana is basically just, all right, about faces
Going
to go
downstairs.
back into the administration building, right? Like, Bansii is going to be heading off into the city in search of Aurelia. Uvik is going to go basically to the, like, medical area in the naval yard, right? To find Blackbird, in theory. And then Higgins, you're heading back to the boat, right? Because that's where you're talking to people. all of the rest of you in that case will hear this, but Higgins, you're the one who actually sees it. Everyone else hears this cacophonous thump, this boom that rattles buildings and windows and wood and stuff like that throughout the city.
Oh.
And
That's
then you
bad.
hear another 2 immediately after that. So Yuvik, Bansii, and Indiana hear that. Higgins, you watch as the HED Volge
It starts bombarding.
fires 3 cannon into the side of another vessel, much the same size as the Scorpion, as you're like approaching the docks, and all but obliterates it. In the vessel is sinking into the water in a matter of seconds. It was docked 2 spots over from the Scorpion.
Is that the one where we saw the raccoons coming out with the gunpowder?
That one was docked right next to the Scorpion.
Okay.
And that, whatever the fuck that may be, is where we will end tonight's session. That's it! Thanks for playing! Hope you enjoyed! We'll see what the fuck goes on next time if the party is successful with
Next time.
their preparations. And if anything comes of whatever the fuck was just happening with the Volge. Thanks for playing. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.